The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Talo for Lover. I'm Madeline Chapman, editor at The Spin-off. If you have the means, consider supporting our high-quality journalism by becoming a Spin-off member. Sign up now at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Would you dress up for Halloween?
The Lasser crew member would be an easy dress up. Blue polo.
Yeah, true.
No, you dress up as Keith Stone.
Keith Stone. Keith Stone.
Kia ora, welcome to The Real Pod. My name is Jane Yee. I'm joined by Alex Casey and that's all really. Well, no.
Where's Duncan?
Great question. Not here is the answer. Tiahi Butler is here though.
I'm here.
Can I just say, Tiahi is always there.
He's always there.
Always.
He is our rock. I know. We're pointing to an empty chair.
We're pointing to an empty chair. Not here.
Not here. Listen, I think there's a reason Duncan's not here, Alex, and I think it's directly to do with Below Deck Down Under.
Oh.
If there's a pod he's going to scarper for, it's our Below Deck recap, and the reason is we've got his number. He promised us about 3 eps in that it was going to get really good and that Jamie was going to be a massive old villain.
He can't face up.
He can't face up to the fact that none of those things.
There is one episode to go. There is one episode to go. But I'm just saying, if any of the Thalassa crew just did not show up, can you imagine?
Yep.
Especially if that person was Captain Jason.
It's true. It's true.
Which in a way Duncan is.
Yeah. Is he? Or is he?
Or is Duncan the primary?
Oh my God, Duncan is the primary because we are working for him.
We are. Wow.
Yeah.
Everything's changed.
Everything's
I think my jeans are sorry, excuse me.
Are they splitting? What's happening there?
Do you ever get that thing when your jeans just start undoing themselves? Like the zip's just like, nah.
No, I usually undo them before they undo themselves.
Mine are just going for it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm flying low a lot.
Yeah, just wear a long tee.
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm wearing this long shirt today. It's a real problem.
Speaking of laundry, this episode, episode 16, it's called Dirty Laundry. And I don't know, it's foreshadowing some laundry problems, I'm guessing.
I think you're right to say that.
Yeah.
Well, there were laundry problems, were there not?
Yeah, not major ones. Not like we've seen before.
No.
I mean, I feel like this is a title that could have been used in the Magda era,
The titles, we've had problems.
We've had problems.
We've had really big problems.
We've really only had one really, really good one.
And I think prior to this, we've never really talked about episode titles before and put this much emphasis on them.
But that's because when something's good, you don't notice it, right? When something is good, like if a paint job is good, you don't notice it. You notice it if it's bad.
I see.
Yeah, so we're noticing the bad titles.
Drawn to our attention.
Okay, Culver kissed Geordie primary. That's where we left off, out at the club. Brittini, we assumed she saw it. Brittini did not see it.
Didn't see it. She was busy psyching herself up in the mirror to tell Culver how she really felt.
It's honest. This is like a movie. It's like a 10 Things I Hate About You or She's All That kind of a storyline. My heart was breaking. She goes up to Culver, who quite drunk, tells him that she likes him, and he's basically like, "Oh, I'm just too fucked up.
I can't get my bearings."
No, not thinking. You don't want someone on deck who can't get their bearings. I'm telling you that right now. That's like an essential skill for a deck crew. It's in the JD. Have your bearings.
She was hammered too.
She was hammered too. But that was a lot of Dutch courage for her because she had decided well before they went out tonight was the night that she was going to confess her feelings. But he also did this weird thing. I reckon he hedged his bets. He's like, I'm too fucked up. I'm not thinking about that right now because I'm kissing this other woman and I want to continue to do that. But maybe when we're alone we can have a conversation.
Yeah. He didn't want to commit either way.
No.
Don't like it.
Aisha, not partying this night.
She's not partying. Well, she knows there's a hell of a chowder coming up. They said 11 p.m. bedtime, and no one was going to bed at 11
getting to 12, towards 12. Jamie's like, 5 more minutes. Aisha's like stone cold sober, I'm certain.
Yeah.
She's not even touched a drop. She's an Aisha on the town that I've never seen before. And everyone else just absolutely tanked.
Yes.
They get back
to me.
She was on one. The next morning, of course, Captain Jace up doing his yoga and everyone else is stumbling around except for Aisha. She's on it. And the slide arrives. And now I'm getting to think, is a slide an essential ingredient for a good tally season of Below Deck?
You might be right. I think a slide brings an atmosphere with it. It brings the carnival atmosphere for the guests and it brings the dread for the crew. And I think people, as we've seen, get a little loose on the slide.
Get a little loose. I mean, these guests are a lot loose.
Yeah.
They're PDAing up a storm. There's what did Benny say? We got some hotties on board. That's what's up.
Oh,
yeah. But they were having these guests were like kind of cool in my eyes. They're like having a really good time. They're not complaining about much apart from the his and hers labels in the wardrobe.
And there was a hair. There was a hair in the bath.
But that's standard. I once had hair in me noodles, and I didn't know complain. I just didn't eat them.
Noodles from a shop here?
From a food court. Food alley. I can out them because they're rest in peace. And I didn't want to, A, 2 things. I don't want to bum them out. And B, I no complain.
It's hard. And sometimes I'm like, I feel like I have quite a lot of hair and quite a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this could be mine.
Yeah.
I'm like my cardigans, I lose a lot of hair a day.
So do I.
Just handfuls.
Yeah. And when you wash your hair, forget about it. I have to use a little thing that I've bought to cover the drain to stop my hair going down it. That only comes out. It's like a little suction cup thing. And it only comes out when I'm washing my hair. And then I pop it away again afterwards.
How much hair are you collecting?
Oh, like a handful.
You can hang that out on your line and birds will take it.
The hair, handy
for a nest.
I used to do hair art on the shower wall.
I love that. Yeah,
and make little pictures of ponies and things. But also, there's something I saw on TikTok, one of the social medias. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Where a woman collected all her bits of hair and stuck them on double-sided tape. And all bits of loose hair that came out. And I started doing that and I did it for like 3 days. I got quite a lot. And then you just like brush it.
Oh, so you're like making hair extensions.
Well, I don't know. I can't remember what it is that she did with it. But she just collected all this hair. And by the end, she had like a whole thing of hair. Yeah. It's quite Hannibal Lecter.
It is.
What
are we doing?
We're on the boat. There's a hair in the bath. And apart from that,
Chumi's hungover. Chumi's hungover is all hell, but she's keeping it together.
She's still bringing it. She's trying to manifest not vomiting as well, which is quite cute. Just walking around going, I'm not going to vomit.
Yeah, metabolize.
Guests, meanwhile, are absolutely going for it. Like, these guys are here for a good time, not a long time. And they're martinis and mojitos and apple martini.
And bubbles.
Brittini.
Espresso martinis. All over the floor.
Yeah, all over the floor.
All over that cream carpet. That's not a good idea for a yacht, is it?
No, because yachts, things on the water sometimes a bit wobbly.
And we've seen poo running down those holes.
Oh, my God. Brittini gets pissed off that Jamie and Culver are flirting with the guests, and completely fair enough, because when she once had an almost flirt with a guest one time.
Which was a New Zealander, go Kayla.
Yes. Jamie came down really hard on her. And now he's doing it.
And he's doing it in the most, like, when she's like, I'd have sex with someone for a vape. And he's like, God, I wish I had a vape. And you're like, calm down, sir.
Brittini was like, the toilets are that way.
You know, and he's like, don't you dare talk to the guests.
Kia ora, I'm Duncan Grieve, founder of The Spinoff. You can help us keep all of The Spinoff's award-winning journalism free for everybody by becoming a member today at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Do you find it hard staying optimistic with all the financial news in the media? I'm Bernard Hickey, and on my podcast, When the Facts Change, I'm here to help you navigate the ever-changing landscape of economics in Aotearoa. So join the conversation every Friday on When the Facts Change, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network in partnership with KiwiBet.
Are you curious about how business can be better? I'm Simon Pound, and I host Business is Boring, a podcast where I kōrero with some of the most interesting people in entrepreneurship, commerce, and making things happen. Tune in to Business is Boring every Tuesday, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network in partnership with Spark Business Lab.
I'm not sure if it's because I watched this at 1.25 speed, but I feel like the edit was really manic.
I also watched it at 1.25, so I'm not sure.
But it did feel like there was just a lot happening, a lot of action. You know, the guests were really having a good time. They were pashing and groping and going down slides 3 at a time and flirting with all the staff and going into the bridge and into the galley and everywhere.
When they honked the boat horn...
The foghorn.
That's not okay. That is not the code of the sea.
No.
That's really troublesome, isn't it?
Someone might have thought there was some fog out there.
Exactly. I mean,
Captain came in and was like, "Don't touch anything."
But also, I'm like, maybe the captain shouldn't be leaving his wheelhouse empty.
I don't know if that is the wheelhouse.
Oh, shit.
I don't know that he's got a wheel in there. It's the bridge.
Is the wheel not in the bridge?
I don't think I've seen a wheel in there.
Well, where's the wheel?
I don't know. I wonder if what he's got in the bridge is basically like all the buttons, all the automated stuff, and the wheel is backup. If all the automation goes down, then he needs to take the wheel, and the wheel lives in the wheelhouse. Does that sound?
I feel like we've seen him outdoors, like just
with
outside next to the bridge, steering and like radioing while they're coming through the entrance to the marina.
That would be the wheelhouse, mate. You'd know. You've been on ships.
No, I've been on a ship, a really big ship.
A big luxury liner.
We kept a long way. I was thinking about this last week in terms of the code of the sea. Would you guys be in favour or against the idea of being able to hail other cars on the road? If all cars came installed with some sort of radio thing, and you could hail other cars.
You'd be like, my battery's dead, Is anyone nearby? To come and help jumpstart my battery?
I've lost my tender.
Fun.
Can anybody swing by and...
Anyone got any snacks?
I feel like circa 1998 I would have used that to be, hey, you're cute. Got a girlfriend? You know, like when racers used to put their mobile phone numbers on the back of their... They get like custom-made stickers with their mobile phone numbers. Put them on the back of their cars. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Imagine if they could have just hailed each other instead.
Wow. I didn't even think about it.
I feel like, imagine that in rush hour. Just been a nightmare.
It's probably a bad idea.
Nightmare.
You could just banter, though. Couldn't you? You could just chat. It's like short band radio.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wheelhouse. Wheelhouse. This is another term for bridge. So you were correct, Alex. It's usually reserved for referring to a smaller vessel, like a tugboat, perhaps a runabout.
A runabout.
Dangerous.
Okay. So not completely wrong.
Not completely wrong. Quite right, in fact.
I'll take it.
Quite right.
I'll take it.
Well done. Anyway.
I don't like it when the captain says, change into your wets, please. That gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Taylor's been sent to the laundry. She's not loving it because she's worked on a big boat and there was a dedicated laundry person. Has she only worked on one boat? Because she keeps talking about this boat.
One boat.
It's confusing to me because I'm sure she's mentioned other boats and perhaps...
I don't know.
Maybe she's like got a length minimum. Like she won't do anything under 140 metres or something. And therefore there's always a dedicated laundry person. Stop it, you two.
Sorry, we had a boardy pod before this.
Boardy pod!
It was a boardy pod, wasn't it?
And they get lubed up to go down the slide.
They do. They're so dirty.
With what, I wonder?
Talk. Oil, maybe oil.
Do they actually like oil themselves out?
Make you go very fast. They did go down at speed. I mean, they're very steep slides, but they were all three of the women just jumped on and went down at once, and they just got spat out the end. I was like, someone is going to lose a head at this point.
It's dramatic.
Yeah. It's probably more dramatic than the tide going out. But anyway, that is our big cliffhanger for this week.
Poor Sheffy. He put his heart and soul into the dinner for those drunkards.
I know. He's doing so well.
He really is.
And he's just not Ryan. And the food looks yum and good. And soup in an avocado shell for a start. I would never have thought to call it a shell.
What would you have? Skin?
Skin. Avocado skin.
It did look a bit, I don't know if I liked it.
Ah.
A little bit composty, you know?
Oh la la. Okay. Not good enough for Alex Casey, by the way.
Well, I don't know, just eating something out of it. Like, you've seen avocados turn, right? You've seen what happens to that skin when left unattended.
Yeah.
I worry that it was turning on the plate.
Oh my God. Well, it doesn't take long, does it?
It doesn't take long.
Well,
blink and you miss it.
Maybe it was an advantage that they were a little bit beer eyes, beer goggles.
True.
Or wine goggles or martini goggles.
And so it was a round the world dinner, and he busted it out. He did Italian pasta, curries, crazy stuff. And most of them had forgotten they were even at dinner.
I love these guests, honestly.
Is there food coming?
I know that they're full on, but at the same time, like, they were going down to the bedroom at the end of the night. They were in bed by 12:34. They went down to the bedroom and went, oh my God, the beds are made. Like, so easily impressed for people who apparently are just loaded with money and presumably have stayed in luxury accommodation before, but they're still humble enough to appreciate a made bed. So I think they're kind of, you can't have it both ways. You can't have the guests who don't complain but are partiers, or the guests who complain about everything but aren't partiers. What do you want? The guests who don't party and don't complain? That's just boring.
That's boring.
Boring telly.
Yeah. And maybe that's why this episode, I feel like, was good.
Yeah.
And it's all about the guests.
It's about the guests.
It's about the guests. We've had really boring, polite guests for too long. Not anymore.
But also I think it is that this is the last charter. So, I mean, Culver's checked out.
Yeah.
Culver is he is 1 foot on Bradbury compound right now. He cannot wait to get home to mum.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't give a fuck anymore. Benny, meanwhile, what's happened there?
He's stepped into his potency.
And he likes Jamie. And Jamie's being like, Jamie, like, ironed his shirt or some shit. Jamie did something for him in the laundry. And he breadcrumbed. He breadcrumbed Benny. And Benny was just like, I love Jamie now. Thank you for steaming my top.
I know, but that's all Benny ever wanted.
That's all he wanted.
Someone to steam his top.
And that's what Jason was been trying to say to Jamie. And oh God, it took us 16 episodes, and here we are. Anything else to say?
Interesting that Saskia is going to inherit, like, I like the Philippines talk. I like the window into Captain Jason's life when he Skypes his daughter and says he's just going to build a little villa behind the resort and die in it. She, who is maybe 4, runs the resort.
I think she's a little old. I think she's a little older than that. Old enough to know the fun game of pretending to freeze when you're on FaceTime, which is quite cute.
That was advanced, yeah.
And I think, I'd love to know. I mean, I probably could look it up. He's probably on the Instagram. Love to know if he's back at the resort.
Yeah.
He probably is.
And what's that whole world? Is that a spin-off show,
Probably.
Jace on land.
Yeah. Yeah. At
Saskia's...
Coachella.
Oh, yeah.
The Adventures of Captain. I actually think we're quite boring. I don't know that he's that interesting.
I know. But he is hot.
That's
and
true.
And people do like that.
They like hot. When we were on the beach for what was it? What was the theme?
Brunch.
My favourite theme.
I think they wanted a Mardi Gras lunch, but because of the tides,
they had to.
And the tides being what they are in the world.
They go in and out.
Sundays.
They go in and out, and there's no way of predicting them.
There's no way of knowing what's going to happen at any point at sea.
Yeah. Okay, so the timer, how like that, as soon as they get there, it's like 2 hours and 10 minutes till low tide. And I'm like, ooh, they've started a low tide countdown. That does not look good. I'm not predicting good things here. So that happens when they're walking to the table. They sit down at the table and suddenly it's 44 minutes to low tide. There is a hole in the space-time continuum.
There's no way it took them that long to walk there.
An hour or so to get into their seats at the table.
Yeah.
But the tide is going out. Culver's bloody out on a jet ski with a guest.
And he doesn't have his radio. And the captain's in ribbons on the boat saying, come on in.
There's rocks. And there's absolutely no way that you can get people from land to sea once the tide's out. Except maybe by...
Can't you just walk?
You could walk to the... You could push the boat. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I just don't think it's as bad as they're making out.
But the captain's not happy.
Captain's not happy.
It's the last charter.
He's asked them to do something. They're not doing it.
They're not doing it. We'll see what happens next week.
The final. It has been a slog.
It has been a slog. It's been an interesting experiment for us.
But we probably won't do it again. I mean, the thing is, I have enjoyed it, and I think I'd probably enjoy it more if I didn't have that pressure of having to watch it every week because we were doing
for the podcast. Yeah,
that I could just settle in at a time where it suited, rather than at like half an hour before the podcast watching it double speed. But I also, when we committed to doing this, we had no idea it was going to be 17 episodes long.
No.
I thought 10. You know?
At most. And we also didn't realise that Block, Bake Off and CTI were all going to be coalescing around the same time. Oh, and The Masked Singer.
Yeah, it's just...
But when we commit, we commit.
We commit.
So we did this for the 3 or 4 people that are still listening.
We tried to pull out. We did.
Oh, we did.
We really tried. Yeah.
We had many conversations.
Yeah, but
tense conversations.
But we didn't. and here we are, 1 episode to go, and we have toughed it out like Benny on Thalassa. Thank you so much for joining us on this long charter.
Hey, I got a quick message from Duncan for the end of the pod. It gets real good next episode.
That's us. Can't wait for it. Bye.
Kia ora, this is Toby Manhire, here to urge you to tune in to Gone by Lunchtime, a podcast with me, Annabelle Lee Mather and Ben Thomas, tackling the world of New Zealand politics, from policy to polling, from scandal to psychodrama. Listen to Gone by Lunchtime, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network, wherever good pods are sold.
Kia ora e te iwi, Te Aihe Butler here, podcast manager at The Spin-Off. If you enjoy listening to our podcasts, consider supporting our mahi by signing up to become a Spin-Off member at thespinoff.co.nz/donate. The Spin-Off Podcast Network.